You know, all this talk about the heat got us thinking here at Metro Focus. Why is it that heat wave or not, it always seems to be hotter in the city than anywhere else? Well, as it turns out, there's a reason for that, and it's called the urban heat island effect. Jenna Flanagan recently sat down with Bill Allfelder, New York's executive director of the Nature Conservancy, and asked him what that is all about.
So the urban heat island effect refers to the fact that on a hot summer's day, temperatures in New York City, for example, because of our buildings, the amount of pavement, the dark roofs that we have, just the number of people living here, temperatures here in the city can be anywhere from 10, 15 to 20 degrees hotter than they would be in the suburbs or out in rural areas. And so what we're saying is we need to get on top of this. We need to find ways to abate this because this is really about quality of life, and it can kill and make sick large numbers of the population. So what are thoughtful solutions to addressing and eliminating the urban heat island effect?
So how does this relate to, does this come into play with global warming? How does it relate?
It does. So global warming, essentially what's going to happen, a heat wave is any series of 3 days or more that are 90 degrees or more. And we're going to see more and more of that with climate change and global warming. So we need to be able to address this threat now so that we can better protect our people and have a more livable city.
Now, I'm sure everybody in New York would already say, well, we know how hot it is. But for someone who's not in the area, if it's an island, how does that come into play with the heat? It should be cooler because we have the water.
Well, the number one indicator about where you get heat in the city actually has to do with vegetation. So you're right, the fact of being on the coast is helpful. But the Nature Conservancy scientists, what we've done is we've looked at maps of where are the parks, where are the trees, where are the green spaces, and then where do you have these spikes of heat in the summertime. And you see this very close correlation with lack of vegetation and trees to high heat. And so what we're suggesting is nature has a big role to play in solving the urban heat island effect.
Okay, and so what role is that nature's going to play?
So what we're looking at are a couple of things. So one is, can we just create more parks, more green spaces? That will bring down heat, but also just bushes and trees along streets. They're good aesthetically, they're good for property values, but that shade provides such a cooling effect. And then the other possibility is green roofs. So actually, 30% of the city's in roofs. If we could start putting more vegetation up there and creating living spaces, whether they're gardens or just sort of tree and grassy areas, those are all things that will help bring down summertime temperatures.
So are those some of the kind of things that the mayor's office is looking into?
They are. So what we're looking at, so the mayor's office, and what's really interesting is it's not just questions around climate change and resiliency, but it's also the Department of Health, because this is a big health risk. And, typically it's younger and older people and folks with chronic illnesses that suffer the most. But, it just makes life so hard for everyone. So the idea is, what can we do? So is it around natural infrastructure, which we do think will have a role, like trees and parks, but also even things as simple as painting roofs white. It's a dark black roof that absorbs all of that heat from the sun. When you paint a roof white, it reflects the heat back out into the atmosphere. So maybe I'm sure in the end, it's probably going to be some kind of combination between trees and bushes and parks, as well as how we get smarter about with our rooftop spaces that ultimately will help the city with a solution.
So what does the average New Yorker do to help limit the heat or alleviate the heat?
Well, I think a couple of things. One is, so the first is, do anything you can to reduce climate change or global warming. So if we can reduce emissions, that's a source of the cause. And then the other is, wherever you live in the city, are there opportunities for a street tree around your building or home if you already don't have that? Are there an opportunity, whether you live in a shared building or an individual family dwelling, to change the color of your roof to allow more heat to be reflected off? And then just really staying aware. Support, folks and programs that are designed to address the threat. And, what I think is so important is it's often some of the lower income neighborhoods in the city where this is a real problem. So sort of helping support the programs of the mayor that address this, because there is a bit of an environmental justice issue here, where we need to make sure that the neighborhoods that are most threatened by this actually get the assistance and the investment that they need and deserve.
I would wonder if there would be any new, perhaps laws or something passed to go along with this to force people, because let's face it, space in Manhattan is limited.
It is, and I think, we've seen things historically around reducing emissions by, for example, changing the kinds of fuels that we use in buildings. So I think it would be great where maybe it's even incentives, like how can we give builders and neighborhoods and property owners more incentives to do the right thing, whether that's through, let's say, tax credits or other things. So that's what I would love to see, is a policy structure that helps people make good choices and makes those choices easier for them to bring nature back, do things like paint roofs white, and make the city more livable for all of us.
All right, well, listen, Bill Ohlfelder, thank you so much for joining us again.
It was a pleasure. It's always great to be here.
It's great to have you here. Thank you.